Hey guys, it's Goosebumps Completionist. Today I'm bringing you an extra special video. I've been wanting to make this for some time. Somebody on Discord reminded me about this topic and I thought why not go ahead and make a video on it. I feel bad because I haven't been the most active this past month at the time of me making this video, but I do assure you all within the next few weeks everything will be back to normal. It just gets very hectic around this time of year for me. So thank you for your patience. But to reward you all, I have my top 5 favorite pieces of Goosebumps merchandise I own in my collection. Now, some of you might have these items. You know, I'll be honest. I'm a completionist in more of like an archivist type of way. I'm more after the Goosebumps stories and all the stories involved in the series. I'm not after all the collectibles. I mean, I am. I'm always looking for them at like flea markets and thrift shops, but I can never find anything. And some people out there find a lot. I have managed to get my hands on a few things that I'm really proud of, like my haunted masks from Trick or Treat Studios. I got my Welcome to Escape from Carlsville board game from the Totally Fox Kids magazine. I got FBX magazine Goosebumps art that was original black and white before they were filled in with color in those FBX magazines. I'm proud of a lot of stuff I own. But these 5 items are absolutely my favorite because they're just so weird and they have no real reason to exist, but they're cool in their own little ways. So I hope you guys enjoy. These are in no particular order. I just basically stacked them and went by size. These are some of my favorite things that I picked up for my collection. Now, the first item I want to share, I bought this a few years ago and I found a really good deal on eBay of this thing sealed. And I remember actually having this from a Wendy's, like, I guess, kids meal. I don't know what they call them there, Happy Meals, and I think that's McDonald's. But I remember having this, and I thought it was so weird, and I still think it's one of the coolest pieces of Goosebumps merch ever made. It's like a video game, like What's Different challenge from Wendy's. And years ago, back in the mid-2000s, when no new books were coming out, and no sight of any video games or anything, this random disc came out for Goosebumps fans to enjoy. And for some reason, you know, this thing has kind of endured some infamy over the years. When people are talking about video games and Goosebumps, you know, people talk about the Tiger Electronics, they talk about the PC games, they talk about all these new games that come out recently, like Horror Town and Goosebumps the Game, Dead of Night, the brand new game, I think it's called Tower of Terror, that's coming out soon. But nobody talks about the What's Different Challenge DVD game. And it's so bizarre, and the fact that it was a Happy Meals toy randomly during a time where no books were being made, I think is one of the coolest things ever. So this is my first item I want to share with y'all. I love this thing. All right. So my second item is so bizarre because it involves live on stage. And Goosebumps live on stage merch is so expensive and kind of hard to find, but this is easily one of the more accessible things you can buy for your collection. And it's not outright labeled a Goosebumps item. I mean, it is because it says it on this box, but I bought it because it's just so cool. It comes from the UK. It's by this brand called Corgi, and it's, you know, a black bull balloon tram featuring the Goosebumps live on stage advertisements that would have been on the tram around the time. And this is actually really accurate. You can pull up photos of this. And on the back it says, the 1999 summer season show in Blackpool was Goosebumps, a stage version of the children's drama starring Russ Abbott. The car was prepared using a mixture of traditional sign writing and modern vinyls to give a pleasing effect. It ran in this guise throughout the summer of 1999. So this is how the tram cars would have looked, apparently, throughout the whole summer, which I think is a cool piece of history. And I'm trying to get it close up without the glare. I still have it sealed in there, but yeah, you can see Slappy and the Goosebumps live on stage stuff on it. And you see the slime on top. It's just so cool and bizarre. I love this thing. I had to have it. I paid a good penny for it, but it's so bizarre, it had to come home with me. So yeah, love this. Item number 2. Now, item number 3 is something I picked up very recently. I made a post about this saying you can find this at Burlington Coat Factory. And it's a baseball tee of Goosebumps. Now, what's cool about this, right? On the front, it's officially licensed Goosebumps merch. As you can see, there's Goosebumps. You see the Goosebumps tag. It has a nice little black, orange, and white trim. But if you turn it over on the back, it's Horrorland. You can see Slappy, and then you can see like the old school Tim Jacobus Horrorland on the left. You have some badges here of Slappy, the Haunted Mask. I don't know what that's supposed to be, a werewolf or something. Oh no, that's the Horrorland ride, like the roller coaster. But isn't that so cool to see Horrorland on a t-shirt? I mean, you just never see this stuff with modern Goosebumps. And to see modern Goosebumps covers, like Brandon Dorman art, get some recognition on a shirt, it's just so cool to me. And the fact that it's on a baseball tee, I could see myself wearing this in the future, maybe to like a state carnival or something. But I'm still going to try to keep the tag on it. I got to find a way to preserve it. But yeah, love this shirt. It's so weird. It fits right into the theme, right into something that I would love to have in my collection. Now, my fourth favorite item is... I don't really count this as a Goosebumps item, but I found this recently, and I picked it up, and I think it's so cool because it puts Goosebumps on the map with iconic horror books, where I think it deserves. And it's just a puzzle. You can find it like Barnes & Noble, right? It's one of these, what is this, Ravenberger? Remarks? No, it's a Remarks.net brand. And it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's horror-themed. But as you can see on here, you have all these classic books. You have, let's see, Rosemary's Baby, The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Shining, Frankenstein, Jaws, The Stepford Wives, Carrie, Interview with a Vampire, Fall of the House of Usher, The Exorcist, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Then at the top left, you see Stay Out of the Basement, the Brandon Dorman cover. Stay Out of the Basement was put on a horror puzzle with all these iconic books. And I just think that's fascinating. I haven't opened it yet, but just the fact that somebody thought to include Stay Out of the Basement as like the example book for Goosebumps is kind of cool. I think in a lot of ways it deserves it. It is one of the more iconic, recognizable stories from the franchise. But yeah, I don't even consider this an officially licensed thing, but it has Goosebumps on it. Kind of like the streetcar thing. So it kind of belongs here. Like I said, I collect weird stuff, and this is right up my alley. It fits that nerd itch for me. All right, so that's my number 4. But my number 5 favorite piece of Goosebumps merchandise in my collection has to be these. And I remember when these came out, I had to order them. And as you can see, this giant shoebox. It's the Kawhi Leonards that came out, I think, a few years ago now. And I just think that this is some of the coolest piece of Goosebumps merch ever. If you open this up, you see Goosebumps on the box. I mean, I have the shirt I can show as well at some point. But I'm mainly talking about the shoes here. These shoes are just absolutely gorgeous. If you look at them, I mean, the design work, I mean, it's just so awesome. You got the spooky house right here, as you can see. And if you open up the flap, you got the Goosebumps G. It looks so awesome. And I wish I can show these shoes in better justice. I know somebody, I think it was Bjorn at Goosebumps Aussie Fan. He made a display video on these, and it's a really good job. But yeah, as you can tell, I have a really big foot. I've never actually worn these. This is more of like I'm going to put them aside and invest in them. They got the Goosebumps font here as well. These were not cheap. These were not cheap, and I pre-ordered them, and I had to do like a pay in 4 installment. But the quality on these things are amazing. And the fact that we got modern Goosebumps shoes for a professional like NBA player is just insane to me. And it fits that mold of just weird Goosebumps merch that I had to have in my collection. Right? So that's the theme I was going with. And I hope you all understood, right? So, with that being said, let me try to put this shoe back in. probably should have rehearsed this. There we go. All right. So those are my favorite Goosebumps pieces of merchandise that I own. Let me know down in the comments section, did you like some of the things I shared? What are your favorite pieces of merchandise that you own in your collection? You can treat this like a tag video. You can make this a short and sweet one like I did to show off your favorite items that you have in your collection. Yeah, I'm dying to see. I'll see you next time.